I'll try to speak from my perspective about what appears from the outside, like this decision-making process that had to do with something called Palace into something called Bonnie Prince Billy. Because this is a great record with which to discuss some of this, because I tried in the credits to outline the way at the time I viewed making records. I came to music from a acting background and had some of my more impressive upon my life experiences working on movies. And I'd never been around the making of a record, and I'd never been in a band prior to any sort of Palace thing. I had just witnessed it from afar. But what I had been involved with was theatrical productions and film productions and TV productions. And so those made sense to me. So I came at the entire process from this kind of different point of view, where I didn't understand either a band or a solo artist concept. Neither made any sense to me whatsoever. I came into it thinking that you would get creatives together and create something, and then that thing would be that would be the entity, rather than the band as the entity or an artist, an individual artist as the entity. The song or the record, those are the entities. However, record distributors, record labels, music listeners, record stores have no way of appreciating or understanding or encountering those concepts. So we had these names. We began as Palace Flophouse. Then my friend Todd Brashear and I wanted to focus on harmonies for a bit. And again, you have to put something on a flyer. So we called ourselves Palace Brothers. And in order to sort of try to convey to audiences how I looked at these things, I would modify this label from Palace Brothers to Palace Songs, ultimately Palace Music, thinking that using the term music, all-encompassing way of expressing this stuff. So I think of those Palace years kind of as what other people would call their apprenticeship years or their college education years, potentially, or higher education years. And then that sort of climaxed with the record Viva Last Blues, and then sort of my doctoral thesis was Arise Therefore. And after that, I didn't really know what to do anymore, except that I knew that there was nothing else I could do. I was compelled, but there was no map. There was no guide as far as what I won't even say interested. It was a compulsion to bring certain energetic forces together into a realized form that also, ideally, would help me make a living. Also, there was this moment. I had gone to Australia. I used to travel to Australia more often, and over the course of the 90s, created this incredibly wonderful friendship and musical relationship with Jim White and Mick Turner of the Dirty Three, at the time of the Dirty Three. And just being on the other side of the planet, of course, literally turns your brain around. And coming home on a flight from a tour in Australia, my brain just felt kind of liberated from all these concerns that I'd had. And I thought the whole idea came at once, this idea that there could be an entity that is a non-physical, not tangible musical being that would have this name, Bonnie Prince Billy. And that already was a construct, and every record could exist intersecting with the concept of that construct, or manifesting that construct, or having some other relationship to it. But I could stop talking to everybody who would ask about the name, because I think it's a slippery slope. It's very dangerous for a person, as we've seen with so many destroyed lives of people who sing songs as individuals who oftentimes are understood to represent themselves, so that if they write a happy song or a sad song and then go on stage, they have to be that person being happy or being sad, which I think, of course, is going to just destroy a human being, unless that human being is just an emotional titan. And, I think Dolly Parton is maybe the only true emotional titan in the music business. So I thought, like, well, I want to be able to sing a ridiculous song, sing a devastating song, sing a frightening song, sing a celebratory song, and not necessarily feel like it is this person who's speaking with you now embodying that emotion or that incident or that phenomenon musically at any given point, because that, again, that's just an emotional roller coaster. So instead, I had this entity, Bonnie Prince Billy, that I could share an appreciation and understanding of with an audience who could embody all of those things at any given time. And as soon as that entity walks off the stage or stops singing or the tape stops rolling, that entity goes away or just continues to exist, but only in the imaginary world, in our collective conscious and our collective unconscious. And so I was really excited. Okay, I figured this out, and started writing songs right away then. And what is Bonnie Prince Billy? Well, Bonnie Prince Billy sings like any professional singer that we're aware of over the span of, since the beginning of recorded time. So I thought, well, the songs need to sort of reflect a tradition as well, a kind of a history. And I thought, well, I need to write more bridges, because up to that point, I think I had written very few bridges in songs, if any. But then I could approach all of these songs like I was fleshing out the character of, this swashbuckling, one of the most complex, dashing, vulnerable, invincible purveyors of song in the history of the universe. That was sort of the idea that I would approach. And I continue to try to approach that, and I'll probably continue to try to approach that for the rest of my life, because it's fun. And always infuse all of the Bonnie Prince Billy offerings with as much intense reality across the spectrum as possible, while also understanding that it is the wonderful world of show business.